The doors of your car will close automatically. Please keep your head and arms inside and remain seated at all times. And please, no smoking. Thank you.
Matterhorn Matt presents Matterhorn Mondays.
Hey there, Mountaineers. Welcome to episode 47 of Matterhorn Mondays. I'm your host, Matterhorn Matt.
And I'm Alex, the historian.
And today, we are joined by the man, the myth, the legend himself, LMGVids. Why don't you give the listening audience at home a big, warm hello?
Hello.
Yeah. As you guys probably,
what you asked for.
Yeah, I don't know what I expected, but this is going to be a very eventful podcast.
I don't know what to say. It's just you know.
No, I don't know what to say like half the time either. So, and I just want to say right before we get started, if any of you guys have any ghost stories you'd like to be read on stream, be sure to email them to me, ytmatterhornmatt@gmail.com. I wrote it down in the chat before the stream started, but yeah, you guys will have to scroll up to find it. It's a while up there. But anyways, how are you guys doing? I hope you guys are doing well. I hope you guys are having an amazing weekend, an amazing week whenever you're listening to this. I say this a lot. I say like today, Sunday or like Saturday when we normally stream, because we do live stream these podcasts, if you guys didn't know. On my second channel, Matterhorn Matt Streams. Link is in the description of all my normal videos that I put out. So yeah, I think that's it for the intro. I do want to say, stay tuned to the end of the episode for a special sneak peek for the newest episode of Historyland, which will be coming out later this week. And Sam's asking, or someone's asking, yes, Sam's asking if I have my Snapple. You shouldn't even have to ask that question. I always have my Snapple, Sam. But yeah.
The question is, Matt, what flavor of Snapple?
It's the same flavor I always drink. I need to buy new flavors. It's the kiwi strawberry one. One of the greatest flavors of all time. But Michael Eisner says, I don't want LMG in my parks because a light machine gun can be shown as violent towards children. What do you have to say to that, Mr. LMGVids?
That's the reason why you're gone, Michael Eisner.
He's true.
That's the reason why Bob Iger. Come on, Bob Iger. You know, he likes me here, 100%. No, Michael Eisner. He says you don't want me. Bye bye. No. Bye bye.
Bob Iger was here in the chat earlier. I don't know where he went. Hopefully he pops up sometime during the stream, because we sure want to hear.
Another way to, he's probably trying to find another way to stuff an IP into a ride.
That's true. That is probably what he's doing with most of his time. But anyways, moving on to our news segment. Disney news happening this week. Starting off with the first piece of Disney news, Star Wars episode, I thought that's 6, that is not episode 6. Star Wars episode 9 is about to begin filming, and they're going to use unused footage of Carrie Fisher from episode 7 of the what was I can't even remember anymore. What is The Force Awakens. They're going to be using unused footage of Carrie Fisher from The Force Awakens, because Disney actually did put out a statement. I don't know if you guys saw this. I think when Rogue One came out, they were talking about, a lot of fans were asking if they were going to CG in Carrie Fisher like they did with that one guy who looked like he was from a PlayStation video game. I can't remember his name, and Disney did put out a statement actually saying that they would not recast Carrie Fisher, or they would not CG her. So I guess this is the only middle ground they'd be able to find. Hopefully it turns out good. I don't really know how good it's gonna be, because they're gonna be using unused footage. Like, yeah, I'm not a movie maker. But moving on to our second bit of news, the Walt Disney Company plans to eliminate all single-use plastic straws at all of its American locations by mid-2019. I guess this is kind of a big deal if you guys are fans of like conservation and like saving the planet, all that kind of stuff. I do have links down in the description for these two pieces of Disney news if you guys want to read more into them. But Yeah, according
what
to
are they going to use instead of straws?
Presumably they're going to use the same straws they use in Tokyo, which are not plastic. Oh my gosh, stupid head. Not cardboard either. Paper. Paper. There we go.
Paper.
Cardboard straws. Yeah, cardboard straws would not work that well. Let me tell you that. I tried.
Yeah, because I think Starbucks actually uses the same kinds of straws, and I know in Animal Kingdom, in the Walt Disney World a couple years ago, they didn't have plastic straws.
I wasn't to bring that up, Matt. Damn it.
I beat you to the punch. But yeah, eliminating all plastic straws. Like I said, this is kind of a big deal if you guys are into that kind of planet conservation stuff. Everybody should be into that kind of stuff. I don't know what I'm saying, but moving on to a completely different, not related topic at all. Ziploc is going to be sponsoring Walt Disney World's Splash Mountain, and guests will receive free plastic bags to put their cell phones in while on the ride. So kind of contradicts the last thing I just said, which is kind of strange. Disney eliminating all plastic straws, and then Ziploc comes in giving out free plastic bags for guests to put their cell phones in, or I guess other personal belongings they don't want to get wet. But yeah, kind of.
Yeah, they should give out paper bags.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Quoting from Walt Disney World News Today website, like I said, link in the description below. As a part of the sponsorship, guests will receive a resealable Ziploc bag to keep items dry while on the attraction. A limited supply of the bags will be available daily on a first-come, first-served basis, and the bags will be themed and feature a Splash Mountain logo. So, plastic, Disney, I don't know what you're thinking, getting rid of all these plastic straws, but then bringing in these plastic Ziploc bags. I mean, I'm sure they couldn't say no to having a sponsor for Splash Mountain. But, yeah, so that is your weekly news flash. I still don't have a name for this segment. People have suggested names for this. I always forget to read the suggestions, but I promise if you suggest a name for this segment, starting now, I will read the suggestions. It's kind of boring just saying, this week in Disney news. Yeah, some guy said themed bags. What do they mean by themed bags? If they mean having the Splash Mountain logo on them, that's really not much of theming, if you ask me.
From what I'm guessing, it'll probably, instead of saying actually I probably will say Ziploc. It'll probably, underneath Ziploc, it will say like Walt Disney World or Splash Mountain.
Yeah, that's really not like the greatest kind of theming in my opinion. But I mean, I guess how can you really theme a plastic bag that you put your cell phone in? But anyways,
wouldn't it be great if all the animatronics on the ride were holding Ziploc bags?
That would actually that would actually be kind of cool. Disney, if you're listening, definitely use Alex's idea. Have all the animatronics hold plastic bags, and then they could float into the water and break the ride even more. That would be awesome. But oh my gosh. Anyways, moving on to our first topic. We're gonna do an interview with Mr. LMGVids himself. Why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself before we get started on everything? Introduce your YouTube channel, all that jazz.
I wasn't prepared for this. Okay, I was just gonna sit back and accept the questions. Okay, let me think. Hello, I am LMGVids. Nice to meet you all. Okay, jokes aside. My name is Kris. I run LMGVids. This is a Disneyland, a theme park based YouTube channel that focuses on covering theme park events and rides all throughout the world. And now I'm on Matterhorn Matt's stream because yeah.
Yes, thank you for that.
With 30 seconds of preparation.
Thank you for that amazing introduction. Alex and I have prepared a couple questions for you. I guess we'll shoot back and forth. I'll go first. Or Alex, do you want to go first? I don't think it really matters. Or
does it matter? Well, I mean, no. I mean, I don't know.
Okay. I'll go first, and then it can be Alex. Let's see. All right. So my first question is for you. What does LMG stand for? I know we talked about this on one of the earlier live streams,
but now you want me to bring it up for all the guests and audio. Okay.
Yeah.
I can go a little more into detail since we have time. Okay, so basically, it doesn't really stand for anything right now. It was just mainly the fact that I didn't want to change it because it was just like, oh, that sounds kind of cool, and I kind of had a connection to me. So basically, a long time ago, my friends and I, back in like 2010, we wanted together to create a gaming channel, and I made the first one. It was called XPS3U60Wii, and it's still there. If you want to look it up, I'll type in the chat XPS XPS3U60Wii. 60 That's what it's called. Completely flopped, and then I tried to record some ride videos on it, flopped again, and then I went back to gaming, and then went, okay, you know what? I'm gonna do a YouTube channel. We're gonna play Call of Duty, and we're gonna do trick shooting, I thought it was called, where you have like snipers and you shoot each other and you do like trick shots. Well, basically every time we did that, I brought an LMG. I snuck an LMG into the fight, and I just murder everyone in Call of Duty because I was just like that. I was just I can't use snipers, so I was just cheat my way in. And my friends were like, well, why don't you just call your channel LMGVids because you always use LMGs? I'm like, that's a great idea. So basically, we got all the equipment. We paid like we all chipped in. I think we chipped in about $300. We got all the equipment to record everything, and then that was kind of awkward. And then later on down the lane, much more later, I started watching more POVs, and I started to I met I talked to in the comment section with Infamous Mouse Project. He was a really nice guy, and he showed me that like then through his okay, I'm not gonna explain. Oh boy. So basically from him, I kind of started my little YouTube channel. I was like, okay, I'm gonna start doing POVs because that sounds like fun. And one other small reason is because POVs are on YouTube back then. They all sucked. They were really bad. And no offense to all the YouTubers who were watching, but they were. What I did was like, oh, I want to create a YouTube channel and post YouTube videos of Disneyland Universal Studios that I can watch back myself. That I can go, yeah, this is pretty good, instead of watching other people. So that's and then I just explained to you why my channel was made. Okay, so yeah, so there's really no meaning to LMGVids. It's just like I didn't really want to change it back then, and now it has a connection to me because it kind of reminds me of where like what we used to do as friends because it's Call of Duty. So yeah, so technically it does mean light machine gun, but I mean it doesn't mean anything right now.
Interesting. Like I said, he did explain this for us on one of the live streams I did in the park, but I think that was the most requested question that like everybody collectively wanted to know from you. But anyways, Alex, let's see. Good. You can go ahead and move on to your question that you have.
Okie dokie. All right, so Kris, do you have a game plan when you go to a Disney park to film rides?
Like I go to Disneyland or go to like other Disney parks around the world?
No, but I mean, like, do you have like a game plan? Like, do you walk into the park going, okay, today I've got to get a ride through of the Indiana Jones Adventure or something?
That's what you mean. Okay, I see. Yeah. So for a Disneyland park, a park in Disneyland and Disney World, I'm kind of more loose. I'm like, okay, I have literally Disneyland. I have literally whatever time, unless it's Haunted Mansion or something, Haunted Mansion Holiday or Space Mountain, something new. And for Disney World, I'm just like, I have a whole week or 2 weeks there. I'm okay. I can just take my time. It's fine. But when I go to a different park where I have 1 to 2 days, like Disneyland Paris, Tokyo Disneyland, Shanghai Disneyland, I go, okay, what I do beforehand, I literally sit all night and I go, okay, what am I gonna do? I take the fast pass. I factor in fast pass. And I go, okay, I'm gonna hit this ride, hit this ride. I look at the times, like from like, so I get the Disney app. And I look at the times. Okay, so what ride gets crowded first? What ride gets crowded least? And I hit the rides that get crowded the most first. And then later on, I use I hit the smaller rides. I use the fast pass to go on the bigger rides. So so I have a major game plan depending on each and every park. Like for Shanghai Disneyland, what I did was, even though there was no one there, but what I did was I saw that what was it? Seven Dwarfs Mine Train got really crowded, especially at night. Pirates of the Caribbean gets really crowded. The water rafted ride got really crowded. Soaring Around the World got really crowded. So what I did, I'm gonna go early in the morning, go 5 o'clock in the morning, get there in front of the line, because I know Chinese people to come early. So I went there, and then I go directly to Pirates of the Caribbean. Immediately I go to Pirates of the Caribbean. I grab a fast pass. I think it was for another ride, and then I go on one of the smaller rides because I know that ride doesn't get crowded. And then I abuse the fast pass system. So then basically I have a game plan for every single for every single park. But then for the other parks that I can't get your autograph. For sorry, I'm reading the comments. It's just it's a lot more loose, like hang loose for California or Florida. But for other parks around the world where I have much less time, I have like a dedicated game plan where I literally spend a whole night planning where to go.
Interesting. That sounds like a lot of work for, I guess, like a ride through that people will only like watch once. But
that's the fun of it. I like not micromanaging, but I like planning things ahead. Kind of like to see, I like to abuse a system. Why I can see a system that can be abused, I like to abuse it. That's not a good thing to say on the screen, but it's kind of true. It's just like I want to be as efficient as possible because I know I have one day to hit everything, and I had it happen before. Like back in 2014, when I went to back to 2013, I think I went to Florida for like the third time. I completely screwed up because we had 4 days, one day for each park. Completely screwed up. I didn't have a game plan. And then I couldn't get any ride through footage. This is a complete stupid head. Doo-doo. Well, actually, I didn't have a YouTube channel back then, but then I was just completely stupid. And that was kind of the time where I learned I need to have a game plan when I come to these bigger parks, or at least a long term, multiple days to cover the park.
Interesting. Very interesting. You guys heard it here first. If you want to overtake LMGVids and YouTube subscribers, definitely follow the directions he gave. Now,
abuse every system that you can find.
Yes. What do you mean by, you said I like to abuse the system? What did you mean by that, like the fast pass and all that?
Oh, basically in Shanghai Disneyland they have our Max Pass system, but it's free. So Disneyland has taught me that fast pass can be abused if you can run fast enough to each and every park. So once your ride comes up, you want to be next to the fast pass system of another ride you want to be on, so you can take it immediately. But Max Pass, what it does, it allows you to once Steve's in the comments. Once your ride comes up, even if you're not next to the ride, you want to immediately grab another fast pass, so you have no time in between. So once you get off that current ride, you can go on another ride, and you can grab another fast pass immediately. So like you want to have as little time as possible. And while also and don't ever when you go to the park at 8 o'clock in the morning, grab a fast pass for like a 6 o'clock at night or 7 o'clock at night, because it totally it makes your fast pass useless. That's why a lot of times people they go to California Adventure or Disneyland and they go, oh look, Guardians of the Galaxy, it's open up for like 4 o'clock in the evening, even though we came here at 8 o'clock in the morning. And then guess what? They completely waste the fast pass, and now they stand in line and up until like 4 o'clock in the evening. I was just like, no, don't do that. It's just, no, you need to abuse the system. That's why for me, for approaching Guardians of the Galaxy, my game plan, when I want to record it, is I get there early in the morning. And I got a fast pass for another ride I'm gonna go on, like for Space Mountain. I go to Guardians of the Galaxy, boom, done. And I might hit it again. I go again. But I will never ever grab a fast pass for Guardians of the Galaxy, because it's just suicide. It's literally suicide, because it cripples your fast pass system until you use it. Does that kind of make sense?
Yeah, interesting. I've never heard of it being done that way before. Now I kind of want to try doing it like that next time I'm in the park.
Yeah. That's how I hit every single ride in Shanghai Disneyland within the first 2 hours of the park opening. That was so funny.
Interesting. Like that's really interesting. I've never heard anybody else talk about that before. Thank you for giving us all these neat
now
tips and
everyone's
tricks.
gonna do it, and then I can't do it anymore.
And then Disney's gonna change the rules. You just played yourself, Kris. I'm so sorry.
Disney wants people to abuse the fast pass. That's the reason why Max Pass was created.
Interesting. Very, very interesting. I say interesting a lot. But let's see. Moving on to sort of on the same vein of questions.
Oh, excuse me.
Normally, when people go on YouTube to find different ride-throughs for different attractions like Pirates of the Caribbean or anything, they most of them go directly to your channel, and I want to know what it's like being one of the most looked at channels when it comes to ride-throughs and for like new attractions or just for like updates of the ride in general.
Respond to this comment I seen first, because this is on my mind. I'm sorry. To Sam's comment. I'm sorry, Matt. Excuse me. Seas, Fantasmic, and Disneyland's Fantasmic have very strong and weak points. Like Fantasmic and Disneyland, there's a lot of like emptiness, not emptiness. Like the the Pirates of the Caribbean segment is like really weirdly choreographed and it's kind of badly done. And then they have a lot of like weird areas where they don't use fireworks at all. Like between the I think 10 minutes to show where the genie, where the Latin part comes up, there are literally no pyrotechnics and it's just kind of awkward. And then for Tokyo Disney Seas Fantasmic, the problem is that it's just too big. Like they have like a point where you have a couple jet skis going across the water and just so far away you can't really tell what they are. And then there's sometimes it's just like it's just not as interesting. So I like both of them. It's just both of them have their own problems and good things about them. Anyways, what was your question again, Matt? I'm sorry.
What is it like being the channel people look to most for the newest ride-throughs of attractions?
How do I feel about it? Yeah. Basically? Okay, so because this might sound like really okay, I'm trying to find the right word. Selfish of me, but literally I record it for myself so I can watch it again. that's the reason why. So when I record something, I want it to be the top quality. I want to rewatch it and see every single detail and experience it like I actually am there again. So when I see something that's like not good, I won't post it. I recorded a lot of stuff at Shanghai and I just refuse to post because it's terrible. I don't want to post it. So it's just my train of thought's gone now. Oh shoot. Wait, so thoughts on it? It's just I'm literally doing it so for the best of the quality. So I mean, if people, I'm glad people are coming to me. I'm really glad. It's great and I really appreciate it. But like, it's never really been in my mind. It's just I typically just done it for myself so I can literally have Disney park videos to watch later on down the line. That's kind of the reason why I kind of do it. I kind of love doing it.
Interesting. Very, very interesting. I don't know. Yeah, that's kind of interesting to say because I'm sure a lot of other people who have, I guess, like, I don't like using the word fame when you talk about like YouTubers or anything, but like people who have like the same amount of like fame or like subscribers as you, I'm sure would feel like completely different. I've seen a lot of crazy YouTubers. I talked to a bunch of
other POVers and they feel completely different from me. I won't say who they are, but yeah, I talked to a bunch of them. They are completely on a different page. They do it because they do it for quantity.
Yeah, I've noticed that too.
Quality.
Yeah, I've noticed some of the other POVers. Like you said, I'm not going to say any names, but some of the other POVers tend to like pump out videos compared to you. You post only the high quality stuff, like you said. But Alex,
most of the time.
Another question that you have?
Yes, Kris, have you enjoyed your YouTube celebrity status, or do you prefer to hide your face?
And I wouldn't really say I'm celebrity. Like I've gotten recognized in the parks. Like I think I can count it on well, actually no, I got recognized about 12 times. I think it's not much. I wouldn't say I'm a celebrity at all.
Interesting. Well, to us, you're a celebrity. I mean,
okay.
Yeah. But I mean, like, do you prefer to be the guy behind the camera, or do you ever feel like, having people know who you are and what your face looks like and everything like that? Which is more important to you?
So I feel like the videos I pump out, like the actual POVs, is more important than my personality and my face. That's why I created my second channel, so I can do that. My personality and my face. First off, I think my face looks stupid, like when I talk sometimes. So
I think everybody thinks that about themselves.
and it's just when I record videos, I don't want me to be the center of attention. That's not the point of my videos. I don't want, because when I rewatch my videos, do you think I want to see myself? I don't want to see myself. I don't care. I want to see the videos, the Disney ride-through videos, the ride videos. That's why I post them. That's why I record them in the first place. So like I never really. First, it's just because I would rather see high quality videos rather than putting my face or voice into my videos.
Interesting.
Too fast. I'm sorry. And like if I don't talk fast enough, it like I lose my train of thought, which happened last time.
Let's see. Moving on to sort of like in the same vein, as the question Alex said. I remember you saying, I can't remember exactly what you were saying, but during the meetup you were talking about how, in one of your videos, one of your viewers was upset about you for doing something in the video. I don't remember exactly what it was, but I want to know. How do I word this? Let's see. People, I guess the way to word this, since you're more of a POV guy, not much of a vlogger, how do you normally, like, how do I word this? Okay.
How do I normally respond to hate?
Well, not necessarily that, but kind of in the same vein. Let's see. How do you, gosh, I don't know how to word this. The question I literally wrote down is people don't want you to share your opinions in your videos, since you're more of like a POV kind of guy, not like a vlogger or anything.
Is that kind of, okay, no, I got what you're saying. That
Yeah.
When I talked about how I did my little hand gesture at the end, like the, oh, is this okay? At the end of Soaring Around the World, and people got pissed off at me. Yeah, that's why I don't want to share my opinions too often. When I go into like no offense, man, when I go into a smaller environment, like with very few people, like I don't mind sharing my opinions, but when I'm literally doing videos and stuff, I refuse to share my opinions, because the thing is, I don't want to cause fights, and because like I'm a brag, but like I'm kind of a media influencer, so when I say stuff, people will go against me, people will go with me, and that causes fights. I don't like that. I don't want to see fights in my comment section. I'd rather see people being happy and enjoying the fact that, you know, they're getting free content that you know, instead of paying, you know, $200 to get in the park. So but is that your question? So so is the question like why I don't share my opinions in my videos?
Yeah, I just didn't know. I don't know why. I couldn't figure out a good way to word it.
See now, Kris, I'm gonna go on all your videos and start creating fights in the comment sections.
Well, you're gonna go soaring around California. Soaring around the world is better. We're going to soaring around the world. Soaring over California is better. Yeah, I'm gonna piss a lot of people off.
It really is though. Soaring over California is way better than soaring over the world.
It is.
Yeah, it is.
Way better.
Yeah.
I wish
Like,
they'd bring it back.
okay, so the problem with soaring around the world is that the music is just like, they don't know how to make good music for soaring around the world. It's just soaring around California. The music leads your emotions into what to feel. When you see something vast, it's like the music's saying, "This is vast. This is beautiful. Wow, amazing." When you're flying fast, the music's playing fast, and it's really getting your heartbeat up. In soaring around the world, it's like, we're in China. Let's play Chinese music. Yeah. Oh no, we're in Egypt. Let's play some Egypt music. And I'm just like, no, that's not what you do. You have to tell the audience what to feel, not what they're seeing. Remember this: music is audio is always the king of media.
Yeah.
Audio is where it comes from. That's where we get our emotions from. Visuals do nothing. You take the visuals out of something, the audio will still tell the story. You take the audio out of something, the visuals can't tell the story.
Absolutely. I guess that's why.
Film, yeah.
I guess that's why Pixar. I saw this one video a while back of how Pixar uses music to mess with your emotions. Because like you were saying, a lot of times in this, I guess you could say, in this current state of movies, the music is sort of like the score, not necessarily like the score, but yeah, like the score of the movie is sort of like second to the visuals. Like I'm trying to think of an example. I guess the only example I could think of is Justice League, or like any of those other big blockbuster movies, where like the visuals, like explosions and like all that kind of junk is prioritized over the music, like the score of the movie.
Michael Bay.
I
got you.
Yeah,
I got you.
Michael, that kind of stuff. Yeah, but Alex, another question.
Yes, indeed. Okay, so my last question for you, Kris, is what do you want out of your channel or out of YouTube? What do you desire most for the future?
Things I desire. There's two things I desire. As a businessman, I want to have a successful business, but more or less, I would rather have to see more people happy, because making people happy. I know this sounds like every YouTuber says this, but it's true. It's true. It's just like when I see people happy in the comments, it makes me want to do it more. Like even though I kind of do it for myself, when I see people happy in the comments, I see people give me positive feedback. People actually like send me emails and saying how my POVs changed their lives. I don't know how the heck my videos changed people's lives, but I mean that's great. I changed how they view stuff, and it's just like I appreciate that, and it really pushes me to go forward. So my goal for this YouTube channel is to make more people happy and to expand and dominate YouTube. So those are two sides of my goals.
Very what's the word I'm looking for? Very, I don't know what the word I'm looking for is. Very ambitious is the word. Ambitious is the right word I'm looking for.
I don't know. I shouldn't be too ambitious, or else I'll end up like Michael Eisner.
Oh, Michael Eisner's in the chat too. He's gonna be angry. He's gonna close down one of your favorite attractions now that you said that.
I got an idea. Oh no, my favorite attraction. Go Gadget. I can't believe it. No, don't close it down.
Oh, here he goes, Michael Eisner. Excuse me. He's gonna do it. He's got his button. He's got his finger on the button, ready to do it. Yeah. All right, so I have 3 more questions for you. I'm gonna go with the easier ones, and then I'll end with I guess the more difficult one. What is your favorite and least favorite attraction to film?
In the world or in Disneyland?
In Disneyland.
Favorite attraction? Okay, so my most favorite attraction, my most favorite thing to record is by far the parades, because it really pushes my ability to record. Because basically when I record, I run everything manual. A lot of YouTubers, they run everything automatic, and it looks really stupid, and it goes out of focus, and then they're shaking. Like, oh. I do everything manual because I don't like how the camera really produces the image. So I shoot in a flat profile, and I shoot a manual, and then doing parades, it really puts you to the pushes you to the max limit.
Yeah.
Because you have to focus on your exposure, you have to focus on your shutter speed, and you have to focus on your focus. Because these people are moving, you have to predict when they're going to move. That's really fun. Thing to record. Let me think. The little shows that happen. You know, like you know, in the fantasy fair, that little show. Those things are so boring to record. Those actors, they stand still. All you do is hold the camera there, and you just record, and it's just no fun doing that. There's no entertainment. You record right through a video. I mean, you record. Oh, actually, no. Recording roller coasters is more fun, because roller coasters, you have to predict the ride. That's really fun too. You don't have to focus as much. In dark rides, you have to predict the ride and focus, which is pretty fun. But then in actual roller coasters like California Scream, Incredicoaster, you have to predict where it's gonna go. You have to understand. Okay, so the ride's gonna go up and down. The G's gonna push you down. You have to tilt the camera up. Oh, you're gonna go in a loop. The loop's gonna suck you down. You have to compensate, and tilt the camera up. And then when the roller coasters lean, you have to lean with the roller coaster. You don't want to lean against the roller coaster, or else what's gonna happen is that you're gonna make the turn look what tab on this chat. What does that mean?
Eisner finna dab on his chat. Oh my, some guy. Aye.
Yeah, but then essentially, so parades and recording roller coasters is the most fun, because it's just you're literally to the people and to the roller coasters. It's more fun, but recording like little shows are kind of boring.
Interesting. I dabbled in trying to record some ride-throughs when I went on my trip last week. They weren't very good, I'll tell you that. So thank you for.
I want to see them.
I will. Oh, yeah, they'll be in my vlogs when they eventually come out. But thank you for giving us these insider tips and tricks on how to record roller coasters.
Where did you record though?
Oh gosh, the main one I recorded. I did Incredicoaster. I did Mission Breakout. I did.
Incredicoaster's a tough one.
Yeah, I don't want to. It's like I don't want to drop my camera and have it like hit somebody in the head on like another train behind me.
Yeah.
I did. I don't remember. Those were the only 2 major ones that I did.
Speaking of which, I don't like these little little kids. Excuse me. These people who think they can record rides with their phones. That is such a safety hazard. Do not do that. It drives me insane. What I do, I maintain focus. I make sure I have safety. What I do, I have my band around me. So I wrap it around my wrist, then I put it on my neck to make sure that if it does fly off my neck on the ride and I drop my camera, it will still attach to my wrist and it'll probably slam on the roller coaster or something. But then at least it won't fly into somebody. I care about it because I'm here to work. Okay, I'm here to record rides and do it for a job. Other people here who are behind me are not here for a job. They're not getting paid to do this. They're paid to be here. And when you pay to be somewhere, you don't want like a 7-pound camera smacking you in the face and deforming you in the face forever. So I think about that. I go, yeah, of course. I don't want freaking. But the people, of course, they're stupid. They bring freaking selfie sticks in California screaming. And I'm just like, what are you doing?
I've saw at least like 5 selfie sticks that were confiscated at the security gates when I was in the parks.
That's one of the things that kind of gets me heated about it. It's just like, just please at least care about other riders' safety when you want to record a ride. Like, please. And then,
you know, Kris, I have to say, I got a whole new level of respect for what you do when it comes to recording rides, because several months ago, I went on the Indiana Jones adventure and I tried to record being on that ride. And let me just say, Kris, you make it look so easy. But when I was on the ride, I was bouncing around like crazy. I could not get the camera to be still. I could not get. It was just.
So, Alex, where did you sit on the ride? That's a very important question.
I sat on the far right of the front row.
Never mind. Because the POV secret of this ride is to never sit in the back. That's where the ride was programmed. So that's where the most bumpy is. So you sat in the front. So when you're recording Indiana Jones, you have to go on at least once to understand what the ride's gonna do. Well, actually, not really. You have to understand what the ride's gonna do. You kind of see a turn ahead. You go, okay, I'm gonna predict this turn and predict. You predict. So you predict on the stock. You predict to do that. So Indiana Jones, I've been on enough. But I went on Dinosaur for the first. What are you doing, Matt? I just you did like a full face cam for a second. That was interesting. But like you try to predict as much as possible, and then like for Dinosaur, I went on the first time. It was kind of tough because the ride goes slow and it goes fast, it goes slow. But then the whole thing is that you have to understand what the ride's going to do. You have to understand what's going to happen. You understand, oh, you see a dinosaur and it's about to bite you. It's gonna increase speed, and you have to understand what it's going to do. It's a whole level of just predicting, and it's something I've learned to do since I was little. Since on cruise ships and like 40-foot waves, I predict like how much the cruise ship's going to lean, and so it's kind of like a natural instinct to me.
Interesting. Alex was saying,
but I understand how hard.
I was gonna say Alex was saying
sorry,
that he was saying that he gained a whole new respect for what you do. I have too, because a lot of people think that it's just like, oh, you just hold the camera, all you do is just point the camera and just record the ride. But it's really like how are you saying, you shoot in all manual settings. That's something that not a lot of people do, including me. I shoot, like, I take pictures in manual settings, but video in manual is not my cup of tea.
Well, actually, it's a little bit of a lie. Because what happened is one of my dials broke from Splash Mountain. I went on Splash Mountain and broke my dial because the water went in it. No. So I can't control shutter speed anymore. But then everything else is manual. So shutter speed is not manual.
Interesting.
But that's the only thing that's not manual. Because that's why sometimes I messed up on the ride. Yeah, it happened once on the ride where like I record the bride and she comes a rainbow because the shutter speed goes through the freaking roof. I'm recording in a flat profile, and lowest I can go is 32,000 ISO, and then basically what happens is just when the camera goes across, it goes, oh, I can't go any low, I can't lower I can't lower anything any lower, and it goes, oh, I'm gonna shoot the shutter speed up to compensate for the light.
Yeah,
it's just
Yeah, interesting.
Nerd talk.
Like
I'm sorry, nerd talk.
No, yeah, I totally get nerd talk, all that kind of stuff. But that's very I don't have like another photography friend that I can like talk like manual settings, shutter speed, all that kind of stuff with. But yeah,
I gotcha.
Moving on to my second to last question. What is the deal with your vlog channel? You were talking about it earlier, but why don't you give us the full story on what your vlog channel actually is?
Vlog channel, I mean, Christopher K?
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, I've been wanting to do like a top all the Disney parks listed, and I want to do like other things about theme parks. I don't want to do vlogs anymore. Vlogs are just cringy. Every time I did a vlog, I just cringed myself to death. And I was just like, okay, maybe people actually enjoy this. And I was talking to one of my friends who watched my videos. He was like, yeah, I love like watching your videos because it's so funny. I'm like, oh, really? It's funny? Yeah. He was like, yeah, it's cringy. I was like, That's not what I'm going for. I'm trying to go for like funny, not cringy. And I was like, he was like, that's the only reason why I watch. Like, no, don't say that. It was just. So I wanted. So basically, I'm trying to take a different direction. Stuff to say, but every time I record it, you hear me when I talk. I go on for like hours. So basically, I'm done recording, just talking about Shanghai Disneyland. That's why I don't like Shanghai Disneyland. I have a freaking like 20-minute video. I'm like, oh, that's not good. So I'm trying to find ways to cut it down. I'm trying to find ways to not talk less in my videos. That's what I'm trying to work on now. So that's essentially why I haven't posted anything. It's becoming too hard because it's just. But then my scripts are terrible. It sounds like I'm reading off. It sounds like I'm a robot reading off a script when I do it.
It sort of reminds me of the grilled cheese video I made when your friend was talking about cringy. My greatest accomplishment.
That was like the fountain of not fountain of youth. That was like the memes of Matterhorn Matt. Come on, that was
I know, it was awesome. A lot of well, I guess all of my friends who I filmed it with thought it was funny because it was like all of the like inside jokes that we had in the video. But it didn't really do too well on my channel, but that's okay. Thank you. That means a lot. I might make a sequel. I was talking about how I was gonna do a voiceover of Pirates of the Caribbean, but all the audio in the ride would just be my voice. And I think that would be the peak of Matterhorn Matt memes. So we'll see how that goes. I'm definitely
I think once I hit 1,000 subscribers on my Christopher K, I'm gonna do a full voiceover of Haunted Mansion, completely everything. The doors closing, the music, the thunder.
Oh my goodness. I would watch that. You're giving me ideas for my Pirates of the Caribbean video. You better be careful or else I'll steal your
Thinking
ideas.
about how you're gonna do it, I was like, you're gonna literally do the gun sounds, you're gonna do the water flowing, you're gonna do the waterfall. I'm just like, oh, that sounds amazing.
Yeah.
I was like, waterfall sounds.
It would be exactly what Walt would have wanted. That's the way I see it.
If Walt was a millennial, what he would have wanted.
Okay, moving on to my last question. It's not necessarily a hard question, but what are your thoughts on the future of Disneyland and all of the other Disney parks?
That's a really open-ended question.
Yeah.
All right. What are my thoughts?
Matt's good at that.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, my thoughts on the current state or what's going to happen to them. I'm sorry.
How the current state and how they're looking to be going in the future.
State. I don't like how Disneyland and how the what's his name again? The bald guy's name. Bob Chapek.
The bald guy.
Yeah, he's bald. It's funny. But basically, it was just the parks is that he's doing what I call a universal. He's prioritizing business over quality, and that's why I don't like. That's why I respected Disney for such a long time, was because they will always take quality over. Of course, they try to make money on the side, but then they always put quality first. You see all the stuff back then, it was quality, but now you have a lot of rides that are literally desperate of maintenance. You have Space Mountain, which hasn't had its stars repaired for the longest time. Its Blue Tunnel is still broken after 2 years. The second lift tunnel is still some of the screens are kind of like kind of weird. Let's see, Pirates of the Caribbean, literally, this might be a little immersive breaking, but then there's a giant hole where the skeleton, the transition between the skeleton and the ship, it's a giant hole, this gaping hole for speakers there. And you can look up, you can see all the wiring and all the metal inside. I'm just like so unimmersive. I'm just like, what are you doing? Everything is rushed now in Disneyland. Disney World is kind of the same problem. But they're getting a lot of money right now for the 50th, so it's not as bad. It's much better compared to Disneyland's. Let's see, Disneyland Paris I think is gonna be pretty good. Tokyo Disneyland, Tokyo Disney Sea is not owned by Disney, thank God. So basically, And you can, and I'm always impressed when I walk in Tokyo Disney Sea. It's just people told me like when I was going back in 2014 that oh yeah, this is the best park in the world. You will love it more. Disneyland. I was like, nah, no way. I love it more. Disneyland. No, I stepped into the freaking gates through the giant. I think it's a hotel, and you see the volcano for the first time. I was like, yep, this is better than Disneyland. Yeah, it is mind-bogglingly amazing. But yeah, of the parks is like they're focusing more on cramming as much IP there as possible and getting the general audience, a general public, to get into the parks and just well, basically the general public, they watch movies, right? And they go, okay, oh, this movie, I know this movie, and they see the thing in the parks, go, oh, that movie is connected to the park. I'll go to the park now. Wow. It's before a while back, it was the movies are here and the parks have a separate experience. Like, yeah, of course they have some crossovers, but a majority of time, what is it? I have 51 years. Oh yeah, but a majority of the time there'll be separate experiences. But now things are coming closer and closer. The IPs are literally connecting the movies, and it's just and since they're doing it in such a fast pace, they want Guardians of the Galaxy movie comes out. Oh, I need to have a Guardians of the Galaxy ride like literally within 6 months. They rush it, and then it's just the quality is not as high. Even though some rides, some of the products they make are still really good, it's just the quality just kind of falls down, and that's what we're seeing with kind of Disney World a little bit and Disneyland. With Disneyland Paris, I don't know yet. I'm going in January to see how good / bad the management's going to change. Hong Kong Disneyland is going to, anything they do is going to be improvement. And then Shanghai Disneyland just needs a bunch of fixing. But it's only 2 years old, so I can't hit it too hard with criticism. Disney parks, I think once Bob Iger gets replaced, hopefully the next CEO will replace Bob Chapek with somebody who actually cares about the theme parks instead of a person who puts business in front of quality. So I think for the future at theme parks, it might be a bright future where we might see quality return and we might see a separation, not separation, but a more focus on a theme park experience and a movie experience instead of just combining both of them together. Cars Land best theme? No, Cars Land is not the best theme land. No way. Never. I would never say that.
What is, in your opinion, the best themed land in all the Disney parks?
Best themed land. How do I send a picture in? Oh wait, I can't. Whatever. Well, I think I can. Best themed land has to be the land from. It's like the inside a volcano. It's way better, miles ahead of anything Cars Land is. I'm gonna send it in the Discord chat. You can show it in the thing if you can.
Let's see.
Give me 1 second. I'm a little slow on this.
Alex, you were saying something like last week or something about Imagineering, weren't you? Or is that somebody else? I think it was you talking about how Imagineering has sort of lost its luster from its previous years.
Yeah, I was talking about it last time. It's pretty sad, because Imagineering is no longer the group of people that we all know, from all the TV shows we used to watch and things like that. I mean, I started watching, The Wonderful World of Color and all that, and Imagineering was this small group of people that Walt had picked to create attractions. Well, nowadays, Imagineering is this massive department where there are jobs that, are just so odd. I once met someone who their only job at Imagineering was to go to the construction site and make sure that things were being built to their specification. If it wasn't built to their specification, their job was then to alert their manager. And that's all their job was, So, Imagineering also has a problem where they don't really care about the rides they build anymore. Once they build it, they forget about it. They're done, they're over with it, and they don't care about the ride that they just built. So
that's I'm gonna add on to what Alex said. That's only in the parks that areas that Disney controls. if you go to Tokyo Disneyland, Disney Sea, they maintain everything. It is insane how they maintain everything. Flamethrowers always work. The light projections always work. The smoke effects, they have smoke effects. You know, and they have in the New York area. They have like what do you call them? Like sewer covers. What do we call them?
Like manholes.
Whatever. But manholes. Yeah. They have in New York. They have smoke coming out of it, so they replicate that, and it works constantly. And then they have a giant ship, and they have tugboats, and they're constantly spewing out smoke, and it has a whistle that goes off too, and it's insane. Everything is constantly working. There's never a thing that doesn't work. I'm always impressed, like always impressed by them. But in Disneyland, you are 100% right, Alex. It usually when it breaks down, they go, oh yeah, we'll fix it. We'll fix it next refurbishment. Oh, next refurbishment. Oh, next. Oh, next one. Oh, next one. Oh, next one. It's just and it never gets fixed. Especially with underneath the Bob Chapek, it's gonna get worse. So actually, it is getting worse.
Bald guy.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
But Bald Chapek. There we go.
Yeah, Bald Chapek.
I was gonna say something, but it's kind of sad that all the, like you said, how Tokyo Disney Sea isn't technically owned by Disney. It's kind of sad to see those companies doing better Disney than Disney itself over here in the U.S. It's also like kind of mind blowing to think that.
It's because Disney Imagineering, they can go full force there. Disney still has full creative control. So Disney Imagineering right now, they're literally being held by a leash. They're like Bob Chapek's like the Bald Chapek is like the owner. Like, every time every time the Imagineers on the dogs wanna like eat a bone or whatever they wanna do something amazing, Bob Chapek, nope, come back. But then with Tokyo Disneyland, Tokyo Disney Sea, that there's no leash. They literally can go anywhere they want. They can go, their imaginations can be set free, and that's what I freaking love about Tokyo Disney Sea.
Interesting. One day I hope to visit. I think that was it for all the questions.
Oh, by the way, I sent the picture in the Discord hub.
Oh yeah, Alex, do you have any other questions that you'd like to bring to Mr. LMGVids' attention?
No. I think I'm good.
Oh, that is not the right screen. There we go. This is the picture he was talking about. What is this land called again? I always forget.
I forget too. It's in Japanese.
It's the mysterious island something island.
Yeah. So if you scroll down, there's people down there. That's how big the mountain is, and actually it's made out of real rock too. That's how amazing. And
really?
Where that drill is, you can walk right underneath it.
What? It's made of real rock.
Rock. Yep. It's not cement. It's real rock. They got rock and then they basically stitched together.
Interesting.
Really amazing, and they have little water explosions that come up too, and where the water is, they have a little ferry that goes around too, and then also they have technically 3 rides to go through. One is a ferry. They have the e-ticket attraction, Journey Center to Earth, which is my favorite ride in the world, and they also have kind of a sea ticket attraction, which is 20,000 leagues underneath the sea. So 3 rides inside this thing, and you walk right through the volcano too, and it also erupts fire on top of that.
Jeez. Like I said, one day I hope to visit this place, but
it is absolutely spectacular. I love it so much.
Let's see. We might do, I don't know. I was going to say we might do fan questions later at the end of the show, but I'll think about that. Everyone's already asking, #Bald Chapek, #Bald Chapek. Thank you for creating that amazing hashtag. Aye. But anyways, moving into our...
It's a good hashtag.
It's a very good hashtag. Moving into our, I guess, first and only topic. This is the only topic Alex and I planned for this episode. Let's see. There we go. There is an update regarding wages at the Disneyland Resort. I know it was kind of controversial for us to talk about it a couple weeks back. Got a lot of mixed reviews on the video that we put out. But there is a kind of major update, Alex, since you're the aficionado, I guess I should say, about all things Disney work related. Why don't you go ahead and relay the news to the people?
Right. Well, let's see. I have the article here, so that way I can get my numbers right. So, Disney and the unions have come up with an agreement to raise the the hourly rate, the minimum hourly rate, I should say, of nearly 75% of the workers at Disney from $11 per hour to $13.25 immediately, and then $15 an hour starting in January. So that's the big thing here is in January, Disney will start paying their low-tier employees $15 an hour, which is finally very close to the living wage of Southern California, something that people can actually be close to living off of. Again, the living wage in Southern California is really more like $18 an hour at the moment. But nevertheless, $15 an hour is really good. And the thing that made this so controversial last week is that a lot of people think that, you know, because a lot of the jobs at Disney are entry level, that people don't really deserve to earn more than minimum wage, which is kind of a silly thing to say, because, you know, if you have a chance to pay people more money, why not do it? You know, it helps society as a whole, so that way people aren't living in squalor. But in any case, the points I was trying to make last week was that it's not just the low tier cast members that are not getting paid enough. It's also the people who come into the Disney company with an education and experience and get hired for said education and experience, and they don't get paid what is right, you know, for their for lack of better words, education and experience. So Disney will be raising these people's wages in some places up to $20 an hour. Some people currently working for those parts, like if they're maintenance workers or if they're managers or if they're just doing like a special education required type work, they will immediately get a raise of 60 cents per hour, and that will raise up to 70 cents per hour, or 75 cents per hour, I mean, in January, with an expected hourly pay increase of a grand total of $21.99 per hour by the year 2020. Whew, that's a lot of numbers. And so basically this is good. This is good for the economy. You know, paying people more money will help them to afford their living better. And so it's just, overall, it's a good thing for people. And this is what we've been waiting for decades. I mean, the cost of living started separating from the living wage back in 1975, and no one's done anything about it since then. You know, so back in the 1950s to the 1960s, even people who had low-tier jobs anywhere were getting paid enough to at least live. But in modern day, people don't get nearly paid this much. So by Disney raising their starting rates to $15 an hour by January, this is amazing. This means that people will finally be able to at least make a comparable wage to what they deserve. And so this is a big win for everybody. And to all the haters that were talking to me from the last podcast who said that Disney would never do this, I say, ha, 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 ha.
Take that, everybody. I guess sort of extending what you said. When I applied for PhotoPass photographer a few months ago, I was reading online about how that kind of stuff worked, you know, what experience you'd need to be a PhotoPass photographer. Because as you guys know, I'm a big photography nerd. I like to take pictures. I like to record videos, all that stuff. If you guys haven't seen any of my photography stuff, go follow me on Instagram at matterhorn.mat. Shameless plug. But I did find online, or someone told me that Disney prioritizes people who have no idea, like how cameras work, all that kind of stuff, over people who have experience. And I found that I don't know if that's true or not, but I took it as truth. But I'm sure it's probably true. But I found that kind of weird. Why would Disney hire someone who doesn't know anything about photography, doesn't know how to work a camera, compared to someone like, I don't want to say someone like me, but compared to someone who knows how to like run a camera, like run manual settings, all that kind of stuff. And it was kind of weird to me how Disney, like I said, how Disney prioritized that. But yeah, like Alex
Do you
said,
know why?
No, please tell me. I'm genuinely curious. Please tell me.
All right, so it is true that Disney would rather hire someone with no experience on cameras rather than someone who does have experience. And the reason is because, and I've heard this from many PhotoPass cast members, Disney requires you to take photographs on settings that don't really make sense. So
I think you were actually the one that told me this, now that I think about it, but anyways.
That's right, because I want to chime in and say that people who do the photography at PhotoPass are like, they don't know what they're doing. I'm just not just like,
yeah, no, they don't know what they're doing.
No.
All.
They took a picture for me, right? I look at the picture, I'm just like, what in the world? It's totally underexposed. I can't even see myself. I was in the train, right? And then like they shot an auto, and apparently the camera focused in the background, so the background was super sunny and the sun was shining right directly on us. So basically, instead of using the flash to kind of even out the background, he just shot it directly into the sun, and then I was completely in the shadow, and I was like, I couldn't see anything. I was just like, wow, okay, this is great. This is, yeah. Yeah,
Disney does this because they want people to buy like the PhotoPass photos and things like that, and so really they expect that. What am I trying to say here? Okay, all right, let me rephrase this. So Disney doesn't want people who know what they're doing to tell them that what they're doing is wrong.
Ooh, okay.
That's what it is. So this happens a lot. I mean, it's not just PhotoPass people. It's pretty much everybody. Like for instance, I have a part of when I went to culinary school, I also learned how to operate restaurant businesses. So that was one of the things I got educated in. And when I went to Disney and found out that, you know, their most famous restaurant, the Blue Bayou, was being operated like it just opened yesterday by a bunch of amateurs, I was like, why are you doing this? This is not how you operate or run a restaurant. And apparently Disney doesn't like you telling them that. So, so they choose to hire people who have no experience, so that way they have no one to tell them that what they're doing is wrong.
That makes a lot of sense, actually.
Reason on top of that is that with no experienced people, you can pay them less. With experienced people, they will literally. This is what I learned from playing Planet Coaster. So when you train people, they learn more, and they go, okay, so since I know more, I know how to do things faster. I want you to pay me more. But then if they don't know anything and they work really slowly, they work kind of stupidly, then boom, they're not gonna ask for anything, because like Disney would say, oh, you want more money? Well, you perform this job you're doing is terrible. You're not doing anything good, and it's just like it makes sense. It keeps them in their place. I know it sounds really bad, but it does make sense in a business standpoint.
Yeah, and
yeah, you know, and the other thing is like what makes me so mad is that, you know, when they hire cooks for their fine dining restaurants, they hire people who have culinary school experience, yet they pay them minimum wage. So that really made me mad because, you know,
really? What?
Yeah. Yes. So even though they require you, what are you doing, Matt? So even though they require you to have culinary school education, they don't pay you for that education. They pay you minimum wage. And so that was one of the things that just really ticked me off, because it was like, oh, thanks, you gave me this job, but now you tell me after I got the job that I'm being paid minimum wage. So it's just, oh, it's just angering. And people have a right, and this is where people are wrong, okay? If you think that you have no right to request a proper wage from a job, you are incorrect. Everyone has a right to request to be paid the proper wage for their experience and their expertise from a job. Whether or not you are granted that is a whole different thing. But
I was gonna say a lot of people today they like act like, oh yeah, a company has to give me this job. I'm just like, no, that's not how it works. That's not how it works. It's not how it works.
No, you're right. The company doesn't have to give you a certain job, but you do have a right to ask for the money that is owed to your experience. And because people don't even try, of course, no one's going to move up in society.
Yeah.
So it's just, you know.
And actually, since those people are in a union, you can it actually gives you power to ask that, because you know a lot of people not a lot of people, a couple people who are in higher power who are not in a union, when they ask for a higher wage, they get fired. Like you know what happened with not Tesla Brooks. Who the heck is Tesla Brooks? The guy who does Tesla, Elon Musk. Like literally, his secretary, he worked for him for 30 years. Literally asked him, "Oh, can I have a raise? I'm working for 30 years." Guess what he did? Oh, guess what? You're fired. Bye bye.
Really?
Because she asked for a wage. But she's not part of a union because she's a highly paid secretary.
Breastletics. Yeah. Shaden said breastletics. But kind of circling back to the photo pass, because that's like my I don't want to say expertise. That's like my experience. I just want to point out, I was in Disneyland last week, as you guys know, or 2 weeks ago, I guess. Well, it was way late at night. The park was maybe like an hour from closing, and I was at the teacups trying to get some long exposure shots of the teacups, and right next to me there were these two photo pass photographers who it looked like they were trying to set up shop to take some people's pictures, and there was this one guy who was like posing for the pictures, and there was this other girl who was like taking the pictures, trying to get all the settings right, and the girl didn't really look like she knew what she was doing. The guy had to keep going back and forth from standing in the shot to see if the lighting was good and going back to help her, and I was there for, I want to say, maybe like 15 or 20 minutes just taking pictures, and they were still going back and forth trying to figure out like the right settings to use. I don't know how this has anything to do with what we were talking about. I just felt like I needed to point that out. And I do want to also say that there are some really talented people who work at the Disney parks. I tweeted actually while I was in the parks. If you're listening to this, Randy did an amazing job taking pictures of my family and I with Pluto, and we were sort of chatting it up because he saw I had a camera, I had a microphone on top, and he said he was a videographer, and he took a really awesome sort of like swooping shot of me standing and posing with Pluto. And I just want to say that there are some people who work in the Disney parks who actually know what they're doing and who actually enjoy what they do. Shout out to Randy. If you're listening to this, hit me up. I'll mail you a Snapple. I don't know, just something to repay you for how awesome you were. But anyways, yeah, that's all I have to say.
I got... What? Wait, who's talking now?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I was asking Matt a question. So, Matt, I was just kind of curious. Did Disney security, did he stop you when you tried to go through the security with a microphone? Because it used to be back about 2 years ago, they didn't allow any professional equipment, and microphones are considered professional equipment. I was
Interesting.
Curious about.
No, it's weird because I thought I was going to get stopped too, not just because of the microphone, but because of the little Gorilla Pod that I had. But the guy only asked if the Gorilla Pod extended, and I told him no, and he was fine with it. So it was kind of cool. I didn't expect to. Yeah, I guess they did change it. I didn't expect to be able to use like an actual like external microphone on my camera, but yeah. So.
Okay.
So
I'm gonna be right back. I need to go to the bathroom, but I drank too much water. I'm waiting. I'll be right back.
No problem.
So I was gonna tell you this funny story. It has to do with photocasting. So like a couple months ago, back when I used my former camera to do video vlogs, I had this Nikon D3100, which has like this big lens and whatever that's attached to it, and so it makes me look like I'm a photographer when I walk around the park, right? So I was on Main Street, and I was trying to take video views of the castle and stuff like that from down Main Street. And this lady stopped me and asked me if like I could take a picture of like her and her boyfriend, looking down Main Street. And I was like, oh, I'm not much of a photographer. I just, I'm like, I know the camera makes me look like one. I'm like, but you can ask the PhotoPass cast member right there. He'll take a picture of you. And she looked at me and she goes, well, you might not be much of a photographer, but I trust you better than them.
Oh my gosh, really?
Yeah, she told me she's gotten some really terrible photos from PhotoPass cast.
Yeah.
So she trusted me more than them. I was like, wow.
That's
interesting.
Yeah, that's sort of like harkening back to what we were saying. But
hey, I thought you were going to the bathroom.
I just came back.
Did you watch your
Wow.
hands?
Not only are you a fast talker, but you're a fast bathroomer.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Anyways, I just want to ask you guys, did you know that there's no official training for garbage men?
For Disneyland?
No, just in general. There's no official training for garbage men. They just sort of pick things up as they go.
Even the people who drive the trucks, like the garbage men trucks, or you don't really know?
Tell me they have driver's licenses.
No, that was a joke. Did you guys not get it? It was a joke. They just sort of pick things up as they go.
Oh, I get it.
Damn,
Wow,
you told us a joke about just during work. Okay, never mind. Okay. Damn, it went right over my head. Damn.
So
Wow,
I bet that got a laugh out of somebody in the chat. I bet that got a laugh out of somebody. Oh yeah, there's Mateo Scala. Anyways. Moving on, I tried to do something funny again. It didn't work. Like my coleslaw joke. The greatest mistake.
At least it wasn't coleslaw. At least it wasn't cringy. It's fine.
That's true. If you look back, I made a joke about coleslaw, and I didn't present it correctly.
It was terrible.
It was pretty terrible.
It was terrible.
It was pretty.
What was it?
I think I have it screenshotted actually. I was gonna say it again today, but I realized that would be a terrible idea. Okay, I don't have it screenshotted, but basically it goes. Well, you guys aren't gonna laugh because you know it's gonna be a joke, but it basically goes. Have you heard of? Oh, what is this? I don't even remember. Did you ever learn about Murphy's Law when you were in high school? It's already bombing. It's already not even. Nobody even said anything.
I didn't know someone to say. I'm like waiting for someone to answer.
So yeah, you're supposed to say, yeah, I know about Murphy's Law, and then I go, oh well, have you heard about his friend Cole? He has a similar thing, Cole's Law. And then they're supposed to say, no, I've never heard of Cole's Law. What is it? And then you're supposed to be like, you've never heard of coleslaw? It's got cabbage and mayo and carrots. Yeah, that was even worse than my previous one. I don't know how that happened.
That's right. Oh, this is totally out off the topic, but I was so happy. I finally found out that they brought back dinosaur chicken. Thank you, Mom. Dinosaur chicken nuggets back to Costco. I found it a couple days ago. I was like, damn, it's back.
Dinosaur chicken nuggets.
My parents are actually making it. My parents are making it for dinner now. I'm so happy. We were supposed to go out for steak, but I'm like, I'm more happy with dinosaur chicken nuggets.
Dinosaur chicken nuggets. Very interesting. That was off topic, but thank you for letting us know.
So excited. She just texted me, oh yeah, we're making dinosaur chicken nuggets. I'm like, yes.
Oh my gosh. Anyways, moving on from this disaster of trying to tell some jokes. I'm never telling jokes again. I'm serious this time, guys. Let's move on to some spooky stories. LMGVids, you actually told us a couple scary stories that happened to you during the meetup, which is going to be in the vlogs when they release very soon. But there was one in particular.
So I'm not allowed to say it here?
No, you are allowed to say it here because you're here.
Okay,
and the vlogs won't be coming out for a couple more weeks, but yeah, there was one story in particular that got the group of us laughing. So why don't you go ahead and I'll turn my light off.
Yeah. Do you want? There was the one that happened in my school, right?
Yeah. Why don't you go ahead and tell us all this spooky
You don't need to turn the
stories.
lights off for this.
No, it's fine.
Okay.
It sets the mood. It's okay.
Not set the mood. All right. So let me look up the building so it's more accurate. So not more accurate, but more believable.
And by the way, guys, if you have your own ghost stories you want to send in to have read on stream or in the podcast, like I mentioned earlier, be sure to email them to ytmatterhornmatt@gmail.com. Or you can send them to me on Discord. Really, any preferred social media site you like to use. I just prefer to have them sent via email because it's easier. But yeah. Michael Eisner sent one. He said, I saw Michael Eisner in my email. I saw an email with Michael Eisner's name, and I got very excited. But Sam, please no. Sam, please no. Okay.
No. Damn it, I want to see it. All right, so what happened? So basically, for the first 2 years, I went to a community college, and went to Fullerton Community College, and what we did was what I did was so on like I had an extra credit assignment where if I attended a mindfulness session, then I could get extra credit on like one of my classes. So I'm like, sure, might as well. I have an A in the class, but it doesn't matter, whatever, might as well. So I could just do nothing for the final. So what I did was, okay, I went, all right, so I'm gonna go to this class, and apparently it was in a haunted building 1400. That's one of the haunted buildings. It's one of the newer buildings, but it's still a haunted building. And I got an alien story. And I went to one of the classrooms, and it was one of the classrooms I went for history, so it wasn't really off about that. And I was sitting there, listening to the professor talk. She was just talking about mindfulness and how it affects your mind, how it affects how you react. And I was sitting there, and all of a sudden, I jump out of my seat. Not stand up, but I pop out of my seat because it's just like I feel something warm and cold, like literally grab my butt. Straight up. It was just like something like squeezed my butt. It was like weird. It was extremely weird. Like how can I explain it? It was cold and warm. I don't know. Imagine if you had diarrhea and they had that squeeze your butt. That's what it kind of felt like. I can assure you, I did not poop myself. I'm just saying. I can assure you.
I think the story went down the drain.
Okay. But basically, I felt something grab my butt. I was like, oh shoot, what the heck? That's kind of creeped me out. I was like, oh, it's probably one of my friends behind me. I turn around. I see I see two random girls that I've never seen before. I'm like, oh, okay, maybe they're just joking. Maybe they dropped their phone, and maybe they try to grab their phone, and then they grab my butt instead. I'm okay, that's fine. I'm like, and then so then I go, okay, so there probably is a hole, in those seats you sit on, and they have a hole in the back. So I was like, okay, so I probably have a hole in the back. I'll probably look for it. And I put my hand back behind the seat, looking for the hole. I realized, wait a minute, there's no hole behind the seat. That there was no way for someone to actually reach their hand down so I thought they put their hand to the hole and they kind of grabbed my butt. That was kind of weird, but then my back was against the seat, so there's no way for someone to sneak their hand through between my back and the seat and grab my butt. So I was just like, what in the world? No, and you might be thinking, oh, it's just maybe the chair. No, it was something it was a squeezing force. It squeezed. It squeezed. Okay. Literally, it was warm and cold at the same time. It was like a squeezing. Max laughing. It's a really funny. It's a really weird story, but yeah, it was a squeezing force. It was like like it wasn't a pinch or a touch. It was a squeeze, like squeeze and let go really quickly.
Kris told this story during the meetup a couple weeks ago, and it's still my favorite story.
Squeezing
but basically, I can say I'm the only person that got sexually assaulted by a ghost. Come on.
Oh my gosh! Thank you for retelling that story. It's even funnier the second time.
It would make a bad joke, but it wasn't a joke though. It actually happened.
He was afraid for his life from the squeezing force.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was kind of creeped out for a while. I was. 'Cause I was like, why the heck did something touch me? I was kind of confused. Like, what was that? I didn't realize that until like a week later that I was one of the haunted buildings. But you know, haunted butt. Oh my lord.
Ay. Thank you for sharing your amazing story again. And like I said, it's even funnier the second time because you didn't mention anything about diarrhea last time. That was really. If I had Snapple in my mouth, the Snapple would be all over the camera.
I was trying to get a more accurate depiction, but I realized diarrhea is a code, so like, that's not an accurate depiction. It was cold. It was cold and warm.
It can feel kind of like icy hot, but
yeah.
Especially when it's spicy.
It was like cold and warm. It was really weird. Like I was talking to some of the people we met there, and they're like, "Yeah, that's a ghost. It's cold and warm." What?
Well, thank you.
It's the same feeling I felt in the Columbia. I won't say what it is. You say it for the vlog, but the more scary one I have in the Columbia.
Okay. Well, thank you again for sharing that amazing story.
Unlike Matt's jokes.
Avery did send an email with one of his ghost stories. I finally remember that Avery is a boy, not a girl. I'm so sorry for all the previous times I've called you a female, Avery. I really do. I deeply apologize, but thank you. I will read this.
What if he identifies helicopter? You ever thought about that, Matt?
That is very true. I did not think of Avery. Let me know.
I can't believe it. You can't misgender people. Come on, you have to call them by the Apache helicopter or their sombrero wearing cactus. Come on, it's a very different.
You know, LMGVids in the Discord before the live stream, he was talking about how he was up to date with every single meme, how he was a meme master, and I didn't really believe him at the time.
Apache, the Apache one is kind of outdated.
Like kind of, but. Now I definitely believe you. But okay, moving on to Avery's story. Okay, here is a story, a spooky story.
As a broken Yeti.
Ay. All right. It was just past dusk. We were coming around the corner of the Golden Horseshoe, going towards the shooting gallery. The park was empty. I swear for a split second I saw a cowboy in a white cowboy. I saw a cowboy in a white cowboy get up. He was wearing pants. He was wearing pants, a western shirt, boots, and a hat. He had long gray hair and a white handlebar mustache. He looked right at me. Startled, I looked at my fiance and back towards the cowboy, but he was gone. We walked around that spot again later that night, and I saw a cowboy upstairs on the balcony get up. He was younger with short brown hair and was holding a pistol. It was freaky. End quote. I think you meant to put pants, not ants, but I said ants. I probably should have
I am so sorry. I am so sorry, but this is so funny because it reminded me of this meme that I have to post in Discord chat.
Zip zoom Scott cowboy in the sky. Okay, I'll watch it later. This is true.
You have to watch it now. I was like, oh my god, it's so perfect. It matched perfectly. I'm so sorry.
Let's see.
I'm sorry. All right. Wow.
Does it have any bad words?
No. It's literally just a guy, a white hair cowboy screaming.
Let's see what this is all about.
You have to go. Skip kind of in the middle. Oh, that's what happens. Kind of in the middle.
Oh my god.
Cowboy in the sky. That's what it reminded me of. He has white hair, but you can't see it. His hat. It was just like, oh my god, it reminded me of that. I was like,
I don't know how you had this video so ready, but
I heard cowboy, white hair. I was like, it reminded me of that.
But thank you for sending that video. I will add it to my
oh shoot, that's right. Oh, you should maybe you should maybe because you could get copyright. That's true. My bad, Matt. That's right.
It's okay. I'll just make a third channel.
Matterhorn Matt streams V2.
Yes. Oh gosh.
That's a mental meme inventory.
Alex.
Inventory. It's more like a
I told you guys this would be
How
one of the
shall I
greatest
explain
podcasts ever in the history of Matterhorn Matt. But Alex, do you happen to have another scary story, spooky story, any
We're doing ghost.
kind of
I'm
spooky
so
story?
sorry. You're right. We're doing ghost.
It's
story. I'm
okay.
so sorry.
It's
I'm
okay.
so sorry. It just reminded me.
Let me think. No, I don't think I do.
Oh darn. Oh, this video only has 9,000 views. I don't think I'll get copyright strike. But anyways, that's okay, Alex.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Next time, if you happen to come up with another spooky story for us, we will definitely let you tell it. For all of you guys who sent more scary stories, I will get to those next stream. But right now, it is time for us to move on to Words with Walt. I remembered to pick a quote this time, guys. The quote I picked today is, "You can design and create." I'm not sure if this has been already on the stream yet.
I think you did this one already.
Did we do this? I'm gonna read through it. And
I think you did it. I think you did this
sure.
when we were talking about the minimum wage about the Disney parks. I'm pretty sure you did this.
You can create.
Yeah, I
It's fine.
feel like you've done this before.
It's fine. It's fine. You can do it again because now I'm here. I can give a whole new meme-uless
That is
thought
true.
process on it.
That's true. I'll read through it, and you guys can let me know in the chat if it's confirmed that we've done this one before. But you can design and create and build the most beautiful place in the world, but it takes people to make the dream a reality. We might have done this one before. It sounds familiar. It sounded familiar when I typed it down, but LMGVids. What is your thoughts on this quote by Walt Disney?
Well, for me, how I view it is the bigger the dream, the more work power you need behind it. Like, what's a good example that doesn't involve Disney people? I'm trying to think here. That's how I kind of viewed it. It's just like when you want to expand stuff, you have to include people, and people are. I don't know how to explain this without going into like business character. Oh, whatever. Like we know when Rockefeller way back then, the guy who did the oil thing, literally his dream of literally becoming the richest man in the world and dominating everything and killing every single small business. Yeah, it would not have been possible if it weren't for the fact that he had millions and millions of people working underneath him. It's just people are, every single person who works for a company or works for anything, who does anything for a big project is important to the company because they contribute something. It might not seem like that way, but every person is every single person, even if their job is completely useless, like what you said before, reporting back and forth, is important to the big picture because it really makes a difference. I'll just say that. That's the best way I can explain it.
Interesting. Thank you for your perspective on this quote. And I guess since we did this, I don't know if it's 100% confirmed, but Sam said we did it, and Sam is the official aficionado on everything Matterhorn Map. So if Sam says we did it before, then we probably did. But I'm not gonna let Alex and I get into it since we probably already gave our opinions on it. However many weeks ago we did it. Next week there will be a fresh quote, I promise. Just like the guy from Second Star.
We should ask guy from Second Star, right, Alex?
Yeah, totally.
I completely forgot. I was going to mention that to you guys because, like we said, Second Star was supposed to be at the meetup, and on the day of I think we told this story last week already. But on the day of the meetup, we were all huddled together, sitting together, talking in the lobby of the Grand Californian, just waiting for Second Star to show up. And it's weird because we don't know his name. We don't know what he looks like. I don't know why I never bothered to ask him his name or like for him to send a picture of himself to me so we could identify him at the meetup. But so yeah, we were just waiting. We were waiting for him. We finally decided he's probably busy, probably forgot or something. And we went to go get lunch, and then I DM'd him later that day asking what was up, why he didn't show up, and I said this to Alex off stream, but he did respond and told us that I believe he had, what was it that he had,
was it the mumps or something?
No. It wasn't the. It was.
Oh no! He had that thing with the lungs.
Yeah, with the lungs. What is it called?
Cancer?
No.
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 I'm sorry.
What is it?
No.
Pneumonia. That's
pneumonia.
yeah.
Okay.
He messaged us. He messaged me saying he had pneumonia, and that he'll make it to the next one. No, some guy. He did not have ligma. Please, no, not with that meme. Please. But yeah, he had pneumonia, and hopefully next meetup we have, he will be able to join us. So we hope you get better, Second Star. You're probably better by now because you DM'd me like 2 weeks ago already. But hopefully you really had FOFA. Oh, you guys, I can already tell it's that time of the night. Time to sign off because you guys are getting all meme ridden. But
meme ridden.
Yeah.
Meme.
It's
Oh my gosh. Okay. Anyways, thank you, LMGVids, Kris, for joining us on this week's podcast. We had a blast talking with you, asking you all those questions, talking about the Disney wages. Yeah.
Oh, I had something to announce.
Oh, okay.
Yes, well, Matt already knows this, but for all my fans out there, or future, excuse me, for all my fans out there and future fans, I am writing a Disney history book. So it will be very fun. It will have a lot of information that you didn't know or that you could only hear from my channel. And it will also feature my collection of photographs of Disneyland through the decades and stuff like that. So it's going to be really fun and really cool. And it's going to talk about each and every ride in Disneyland. So, and its history and how it works as well. How, I'm going to go into detail about how the rides function and how they operate. So, yes, and the book is going to be called Disneyland History Today.
Oh, okay, awesome.
Are you going to include the pictures that you took illegally backstage with the steam engines?
I'm considering it. I'm actually considering it because it's not like I have anything more to lose. So it's kind of like, but I just hope I don't get sued from Disney.
No, people post pictures of backstage. Of course you won't. You're fine.
And I did completely forget. I mentioned at the beginning of the stream that I was going to give a sneak peek to the newest history lens, so I'm trying to get that set up right now. Do you guys have anything you'd like to say before we get into this sneak peek? Oh, while I try to get this set up?
Yes. A lot of people are wondering when the first episode of Adventureland will be coming out.
That is a very good question. It will be coming out as soon as I finish this episode of Historyland. I promise you guys.
Just in case no one knows what Adventureland is in the comment section, totally because I don't know what it is. No, I completely know what it is. Don't worry, Matt. But just can you explain the comment section what Adventureland is? I
will explain what Adventureland is. So, in the context of what you guys are talking about, what Alex is talking about, Adventureland is, well, Alex, I'm sure you could explain it even more than even better than I can. So
it's easy, Matt. Okay, Adventureland is basically a vlog series where either it is the episode is presented by Matt or me, and it features our adventures either at Disneyland Resort or other places. So, Matt, he filmed when he went to the Coronado Springs Hotel and also San Diego, be one of the episodes. And then, of course, I'll be going to Disneyland weekly to film vlogs there. And so all of this is part of Adventureland.
Yes, there we go. I just needed you guys to explain that while I open this video file.
Yeah, thank you for explaining the comic section. I really appreciate it because I'm pretty sure some people in the comment section totally didn't know what it was. But yeah, you're lucky that people like me know exactly what it is, Matt and Alex.
Aye. Okay, anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and switch to that is not the right view. That is not the right view. That is not the right view. This is the right view.
Screens do you have?
I have 3 monitors. It gets kind of confusing, but switching between the two. But I'm gonna go ahead and play this for all of you guys. Hopefully, I don't get copyright claimed like all of the other tests I've put out. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and mute our mics while we discuss or while we watch this, and then we can finally end the podcast. I hope you guys enjoy. Walt Disney was a filmmaker. He perceived the capacity for storytelling through moving pictures, although for him, he was more interested in moving paintings, animation. But no matter what new and experimental projects he pursued within and beyond the bounds of celluloid film, he carried with him his intuitive filmmaker's eye. He created Disneyland with this same unique perspective. Unlike any park before or since, Disneyland remains a cinematic version of our world. It is a living, breathing, philosophical monument to visual storytelling, each land designed to capture a genre and a theme within the visual vocabulary of film. One particular land, however, smaller than the rest, struggled for room and the proper content to expand its thematic and visual ideas over the course of its existence. A land whose theming was vague and whose tone ambivalent. Today, we tell the story of that land, the story of how adventure finally came to Adventureland. And there we have it. That is your exclusive Matterhorn Matt sneak peek of the newest episode of Historyland, which will be coming out. Not a lie, it will be coming out very soon. Claimed by UMG on behalf of Walt Disney Records. That is 100% what's going to happen.
You just eat a mushroom there. You went like super fast. You went from like 1 mile an hour to like 9,000 miles an hour.
Sometimes it occasionally happens. I get the bursts of energy, but
I felt that whoosh across my head there. I was like.
But anyways, guys, hopefully you enjoyed that. Hopefully you enjoy the full video Historyland on Indiana Jones Adventure coming out this week. Not sure of the day. It'll be coming out whenever it's finished. Yeah. So whenever that will be, hopefully by Friday or earlier than Friday. I don't know. Whenever it's finished, I will post it and you guys will know when it comes out because it will be posted and you guys will probably be watching it. But I'm starting to ramble now. This is my cue to end the stream right now. Thank you everybody for joining us on this episode of Matterhorn Mondays. If you have any thoughts on any of the topics we discussed, whether it be, I guess the one topic we discussed, whether it be the wage increase at Disneyland or any of the things we talked about with Kris here, be sure to comment down below. We love reading all the comments. Alex, any closing thoughts on anything you'd like to say to Mr. LMGVids?
I would just like to say thank you, Kris, for joining. It's been really fun. You're a funny guy, and I'm excited to hang out with you on the 20th.
I don't know if you're really excited to hang out with me or you just want to rub it in Matt's face. I'm just trying to...
It's mostly me rubbing his face, but there's a little bit of excitement there.
Mr. Kris, any closing thoughts on the podcast? Anything you'd like to say to Alex or me?
Yeah, Matt, you should never ever misgender a person. Always call them by their correct.
Thank you for wise words of advice by LMGVids. Okay, I don't remember how I normally end the stream. Well, anyways, thank you guys for watching. We hope you all enjoyed, and as always, have a great, big, beautiful tomorrow.